the young ladies have all given me permission to record it, because we have a small group, and you might feel like, oh, we came all, spent all this time, and only a few people know about what we're doing. So if we have it on video, then we can refer back to it. And so we have here Mayor Mike Wiesa, Chai Mua, new county board member who sits next to me on the board. And why don't you give your names and
so I am Kia Shia Bing. I'm senior at Stash, and my pronouns are she, her, hers.
My name is Chong, and I go to Ben Franklin Junior High, and my pronouns are she, hers.
Hello everyone, my name is Nestle Lee. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I am a junior at Stash.
I'm Matt. He, his, him.
Matt's also serving as our public relations officer, since he's always the one prodding me to get the meeting notices and Facebook events. So might as well give you the title unless anyone objects. That's called election by consensus.
Can I object?
And then Colleen, you asked to be on the email list, so
I did.
put you on there. And Dave Gorski, candidate for. You are a candidate now, right?
I am a candidate. I have 240 signatures.
Good.
Yeah,
For District 72.
We got to turn Central Wisconsin blue. We can't just have Katrina Shanklin. We need more blue with a little green mixed in, Bobby.
And I would
I'm
say,
blue-green. I'm like a blue-green algae.
Like a turquoise.
I would say that the fellow you're running against, Scott Krug, is anything but blue or green. He's very, he's kind of a brownfield guy.
Yeah,
Anything that will contribute to toxic waste and
he loves it.
resource depletion. This is Jeff, and then Zaxis.
This is my little buddy.
Yeah. And Zaxis. How you doing, Zaxis? Okay, good. All right, so what I just was thinking this morning, like the March 14th walkout really impressed me. And I thought, I've been thinking since then, you know, this, your group seemed like the nucleus of maybe a whole big youth movement that might be arising. And at the same time, I saw this horrible reaction from these right-wing people all across the country. I mean, they were given death threats to the Parkland students and coming up with these crazy conspiracy theories of calling the students, was it crisis actors? You know, this whole, it was just like, when they say your head explodes, it's like America's head exploded. So I thought, wouldn't it be good if us older folks sit down and listen, just listen to you younger folks, and that's why we're here. So, you have a presentation or just want to?
Well, we can just go ahead into you want to explain what Sisterhood is, just for folks who don't know what Sisterhood is.
Okay, so here's a little bit of the background story of how Sister became to be. We originally were just a group coming together to talk about teen dating violence, but after the Junction City incident, we decided that we couldn't just sit by and watch because we knew that no justice would be served. So eventually that happened, and then we took action by making a plan to start our own rally to get the DA to charge Kaminsky with the hate crime.
Junction City, remind us, that was about a year ago?
A little more than a year.
A year about March. So about a year ago, March, beginning of March, what's his name again?
Kaminsky?
Kaminsky, yes, sorry. Kaminsky, he shot his gun towards an elderly woman who was gardening outside. Yeah, and when he was taken to the hospital, he was telling the nurses that, you know, there was too many more people and all these things. And so we really pressured the DA to put hate crime enhancers.
The other amazing thing that you all did around that was no longer letting the media control the narrative. Because the media was really putting it off as a dispute between neighbors, and the girls did a lot of talking about how media controls our narratives and make things the truth. And so, as a group of high school girls, they came together and said, we will put out the narrative of how it is after we talk to the family, and we will reframe it the way that it makes sense for our community.
Great. And I saw something I saw your shirts and your group on Facebook. I know I did.
Yes, so that was
Probably.
yeah,
Yeah.
so that's another thing that we did. So we really like to be we like to rebel a lot and stuff. But so it was homecoming week, and it was like patriotic day. And so for us to show our patriotic, we made shirts. So we made shirts like America was never great, Black Lives Matter. I had 2 shirts. So one of my shirts was America was never great, and then my other one was America, but with 3 Ks. Your history sucks. Yeah. I mean, I went through the whole day wearing that shirt with no problem until a teacher and assistant came up to me, and she was like, "Why are you wearing that shirt?" She was questioning me and all these other things. And so the incident kind of got heated, and so then the assistant principal came and got me and said,
And just to point out too, I wouldn't call what you do rebelling. No, I mean, you're speaking your mind.
yeah.
That shouldn't be rebel, there shouldn't be a label on that as being rebel or bucking the system. That's what you should do. Everyone should do that. And I've got a lot of respect for you young ladies for speaking your mind.
And it is something scary because, even the days after Trump was elected, everyone wore their Trump shirts. And for us to be Patriotic Day, we're gonna wear these shirts. We already knew that people were gonna attack us, So we tried to really be strong and look strong. We are strong, but sometimes it is a bit hard.
And so talk about what happened out of that incident and how you take in those negative incidents and create change at school and in the community.
Okay, so after that short incident, we got in contact with the assistant principal, and we decided to start this new project based around how to handle racism and how to not keep it on the down low or pushing it aside. And we have been pretty active with that with all these other students of colors. We meet every week, and we have been doing this planning to talk to the teachers and all the grade levels at the moment.
So to be more culturally responsive.
So how long have you been together as a group to Sisterhood?
It's been a year, over a year, so we haven't been, but it's officially the group named Sisterhood has only been over a year, but we've been talking about these things. We just didn't know how to put it into terms,
Is it recognized as a student club by the school, or don't they have it?
Sisterhood is actually a support group ran out of CAP Services Family Crisis Center.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it started through the Hmong Family Strengthening Program as a girls support group to help young girls, but we know that as girls of color, they can't talk about family violence without talking about systematic violence and other forms of violence that happens and other forms of oppression that they experience. They have to talk about that before they can even talk about dating violence or family violence. So that's how it began, and so we do a lot of talking about healthy relationships. How does that look like in the family? How does that look like in the community? How does that look like across the country and globally? So.
And the reason, I guess, we don't have this as a school club is because it's not our safe space to be in an institution like
Oh,
this.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think on the 14th, I saw you all were speaking out on behalf of students of color, particularly, and there were 2 young black women that spoke too. So I thought, well, this is really,
That's right, you had Mimi. Okay, Mimi's my niece.
Oh, I didn't know.
Well, my niece is Natasha and Kevin. She's living with Natasha and Kevin. She's Kevin's niece. Close enough.
Yeah, so we did have a lot of conflict with that. You know, a lot of the white students were like, why do you only have students of color speaking? And for us as Sisterhood, it was, you know, like we need to point out that Black Lives Matter youths has been fighting for gun control. It has been fighting against, you know, been in this movement. But because Parkland students were white, people are paying more attention to them, right? And you know, and we also put down the 17 minutes to like 10 minutes because it's not about that moment of silence, you know, it's about pushing the government to do something. And they got really like offended by that we didn't do 17 minutes of silence. Yeah. But I was like, okay, you know what, we're here now, I'll just do 17 minutes to make them happy, but I want to have my students of color speak because we can't talk about gun control if we don't talk about the effect